YouTube, it's your boy Greenleaf Ghost coming back at you again from all they fighting with another banger gameplay with another banger commentary. And the main topic today would be Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. I was supposed to get into it the last fight. I just forgot. I think I was high, but I just recently saw a video from Tyron Woodley. He was talking about what type of fight it's supposed to be. Because everybody keep questioning him about whether or not it's going to be a YouTube boxing match or whether or not it's going to be a, bare knuckle brawl or whether or not it's going to be a, whatever. Obviously, we know it's not going to be bare knuckle, but knockdown, drag out, slugfest type fight. He corrected everybody and said it's going to be a real fight because Jake is somewhat of a skilled enough boxer to have him on the edge enough to want to train hard enough to be serious enough to clean him up as if he was a Mike Tyson-esque opponent in front of him. And this is coming from I think a 2 or 3-time UFC champion, 2 or 3-time UFC champion, knockout records, all of this, and he already in the UFC Hall of Fame, and now he's committing himself completely to boxing, no legs involved except for the steps. You know what I'm saying? It's the only kung fu involved. He gonna be kicking the ground. That's about it. But y'all give me a second. I'm about to get into these fights. Hold on. All right, y'all. We back. First fight: Beatrice versus Royal. Elise versus Overlords. We gonna get it in. But back to the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley fight. I respect the fact that Jake Paul looks as good as he does. I don't respect the fact that Jake Paul looks as good as he does against, not fully competent boxers. He's yet to fight anybody even, on the amateur level of boxing. Like, yeah, he talks about every time, like he's a real fighter, and it just destroys the reputation of what real boxing is, because it basically says you can go learn how to box and then beat up kids on the playground and you can get $50 million paydays, and on top of that you can get credibility as like a real fighter. Fighting a grown man who can't box and you a boxer is the same difference as you fighting a group of kids, like just, 1 or 2 kids who can't fight on the playground. Maybe 10 to 12 years old. This is why this is why Nate Robinson went down the way that he did. And he'll never try to box again unless he been in the gym this entire time since the knockout. And I wouldn't blame him if he didn't, because he got knocked out really bad. It shouldn't destroy his confidence as far as the sport goes, but he's been like lost in obscurity ever since. So most likely the lack of attention that he getting, Nate Robinson, is going to keep him away from wanting to return to the sport in any type of way. That's what happens when it's like, would you let an untrained man onto a construction site to try to use what's it called? That thing that A jackhammer, yeah. You wouldn't let no man who don't know how to use a damn jackhammer onto a construction site and try to break the, you know what I'm saying, try to break the concrete. It just don't make sense to allow, like, this is, boxing is a sport where you can die. Boxing is a sport where once you have turned pro, or once you've turned fully amateur, or what I like to call become a professional amateur, you have to get your hands registered like as legal weapons. You know what I'm saying? And if you fight anybody outside of like sanctioned, like a legally sanctioned bout, like you'll go to jail for assault. Depending on how bad it is, you might go to jail for attempted murder. You know what I'm saying? Because it's basically assault with a deadly weapon. I can't believe I can't believe, you know what I'm saying, Nate Robinson's coaches let him walk into that ring like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no amount of confidence they could have had in his actual ability to do what Jake Paul did to him, to Jake Paul. Oh yeah, I hope y'all can see the difference. I got my controller, so y'all ain't gotta deal with that annoying button pad on the screen. But yeah, I always, in this case, you know what I'm saying, you gotta blame the coaches. The coaches did a terrible job. Everybody who put that fight together did a terrible job because, I mean, somebody was supposed to catch a charge for acting as if Nate Robinson was going to be able to actually defend himself. And I'm not saying it is to give Jake Paul any real credibility in the world of boxing, because in all honesty, he doesn't deserve it, because he has not earned it. He has not fought any real fighter yet, period. And it's sad that we keep having to dig into the realm of UFC just to be able to, oh, shorty is sharp, okay. We keep having to dig into the realm of UFC just to find anybody who would seriously fight him. And it's like, it should be boxers right now outraged at this man wanting to get some sort of revenge against him for what he making the sport look like. This is an American pastime sport. You know what I'm saying? This is like not a game. You know, boxing, and once again, you know what I'm saying, when you train right, you have basically a license to kill, but only inside the ring. And you have to be fighting against somebody who has a license to kill with their bare hands as well. It can't just be play. And so far, Jake Paul has not, I don't care what he says about his sparring sessions. He's talked so much trash about what he's doing in his sparring sessions. I'm sparring the best people in the world here. I'm sparring the best people in the world. Hey, look, however much money you paying them, do you think they're going to go 100% on you to the best of their ability if they're the best boxers in the world? I'm not about to sit here and believe you like you're one of the best boxers in the world and you just started training 2 years ago. I can't do that. Nobody has ever been like that in the history of the sport, in the history of the world. Nobody has ever picked up boxing in 2 years and then conquered the entire sport and all of the elite people in the sport. Jake Paul is really lunching. He has allowed social media clout to basically put himself in a coffin, because if he get hit the right way by somebody who's actually fighting and actually gassed up and upset at any of the shit that he talked leading up to the fight, man, he gonna go down for good. And you know what I'm saying, they're gonna have to call the Undertaker, you know what I'm saying, because it's gonna probably be by a real fighter. Like, he trying to fight Canelo. I don't like Canelo. I know for a fact Canelo would Canelo would grievously punish that man in a boxing ring, in a boxing match. He would probably punish him in a street fight if Jake didn't get the chance to use his legs. So it's like that man is delusional, you know what I'm saying? And he putting himself in riskier and riskier positions, you know what I'm saying? It's like a high risk psychopath, you know what I'm saying? This man is lunched out. And I understand everybody, it take balls to get into the ring, and you gotta be this type of person to even want to do the sport of boxing and stuff like that. But you know, to a certain degree, that's people who understand their skill level and what they dealing with as far as they personal skill level go. Most of those people understand where they're at in the sport, and they stay humble within that range, gradually climbing up to reach the top of where they could be. You understand me? Or, you know what I'm saying, whatever division they in, whatever championship belt they're going after, you know what I'm saying? It's a slow road. It take a while unless you're naturally gifted, but you also have to be working hard. And all of that, you know what I'm saying, years of training just so you can dodge punches and not die in the ring. And Jake Paul, it's like, you know what I'm saying, him going head first into boxing is like somebody who rarely drives sports cars trying to drive a McLaren F1, you know what I'm saying, down a long winding road at high speed. It's like, it's not going to work out. On the side of a mountain, don't forget, on the side of a mountain, it's not going to work out. You know what I'm saying? Usually people like that crash those type of cars in those type of situations. Jake Paul, we've seen this before in boxing. We've seen boxers who weren't ready to fight boxers in their division, or maybe slightly outside of their division in the light or the super subdivision of whatever, you know, original division they was in. But we've seen this, man, and it don't end right. And I'm not saying these men get, you know what I'm saying, grievously injured or anything like that, but they do get punished, and their reputation gets diminished as a fighter, because it's like they didn't understand. They didn't have the one thing that every boxer is supposed to have, and that's humility. They didn't understand where they were at. And that's usually what goes wrong with boxers. You're not supposed to start your career off like that. People look at Muhammad Ali as a starting point for how they're supposed to be socially within the sport, and how they supposed to carry themselves, like training wise and stuff like that. And they don't realize that he was a marquee, like special person in the sport. And, you know what I'm saying, he understood his talent and his work ethic and his work rate to the point where the only reason why he was really talking trash was to confuse you. It was mind games. It was really to gas you up and make you upset, so you threw your punches slower, trying to throw them harder. Besides that, he was humble. Besides that, if people needed to get their credit, they got their credit from that man. He didn't demean everybody for it or anything like that. And he didn't come at the world talking about anything that wasn't outside. He didn't come talking to the world about anything that was outside the realm of his ability to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Any fighter can know that looking at the condition of the sport coming into it, if they pay enough attention. And most good boxers come into the sport knowing something, you know what I'm saying, like maybe from a legendary trainer. They understand something, you know what I'm saying, about the sport enough to be able to properly acclimate to it and perform, you know, at the highest levels, at the elite. Everybody is not like that. This is literally why we have cannon fodder in boxing. This is why we have old people fighting in boxing. You know what I'm saying? They just tuning up the youngins. They just giving the youngins a warm-up fight before the youngin go fight another better youngin. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not good all the time, because if them men don't stay as sharp as they can at their older age, they going to end up getting hit the wrong way and going down for good. So it's like, and everybody that I'm talking about is properly trained, except for Jake Paul. This is the problem. Everybody that I'm talking about is properly trained to be able to do and deal with the things that I've been talking about, except for somebody like Jake Paul, who has been training for 2 years. He has had enough money to work in the best gyms and stuff like that. But this is not Rocky 4, just because you have the advanced Russian science with whatever you working out with don't mean you're going to have the Ivan Drago clout and ability. You're not going to just be able to walk into the gym and knock everybody out that you want just because you got this high level gym that you go to, just because you working with high level people. They going to look at you, first of all, boxing people are truthful in their actions. They going to look at you and train you like how they know your skill level is. It's never going to be too much above that, because if you're not ready to deal with that, most of them, if they not dirty, if they not been paid off or anything like that, most of them is going to keep you on a level where you're not going to get hurt. They're not going to put you in the ring against anybody that's going to destroy you, you know what I'm saying? Possibly destroy your life, you know what I'm saying? My combo, Steve. Gotta go a little slower. There we go. It's just it's a shame what money will allow for a person to want to do to themselves. Because we look at Floyd and we think, oh, he's older, he shouldn't have took any fights, period. It's like that man constantly trains to be able to destroy anybody, like in a boxing match, constantly. I mean, he's a trainer of young fighters. You can't compare him to a young upstart that beat up 3 little kids on the playground, and now he think he could go up against Mike Tyson or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson didn't even really go hard against Roy Jones Jr. I guarantee you, if Jake Paul talk enough trash to Mike Tyson, that man will hop in the ring and actually go hard against him and try to really hurt him. But we coming up on the end of the video, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all the rest of these last 2 fights, and then we out. Just give me a second. Here we go. We got the last 2 fights, y'all. And I'm saying too, because I know I'm not gonna lose and make this a whole, we gotta do a tiebreaker thing. But I do got to get beat up a little bit to stack this money in this bet. But, I wish that man good luck, because it truly make me sad to see people get injured in the boxing ring. And I don't mean a regular knockout. Like, I have seen videos of certain people that have, gone down the wrong ways and stuff like that in boxing. It's heartbreaking, to see people doing the best that they can, what they want to do, and then not failing, but injury taking them out the game. It's especially if it's a grievous one, when you can't really come back from. But hopefully Tyron don't do too much, because barring some sort of weird money move that happened, that none of us know about, okay. That UFC legend is not going to lose this boxing match, barring some sort of weird, monetary transaction or something before the fight. He's not going to lose. This is going to be where the train stops. This is going to be where everybody sees the limitations of man and mankind. The limitations and the people who break the limits. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like Jake Paul is not saying, I'm not saying he's a person that can't break those limits, but I'm certainly saying he hasn't broken any of them yet. This is not One Punch Man. You can't just do 100 push-ups, sit-ups a day and run 1 kilometer or however many kilometers a day. And at the end of a year, you're gonna be a superhero. It's it's real life. A lot of these people have come up in martial arts and boxing their whole life. It's how I'm gonna raise my son. You know what I'm saying? If I have a daughter, it's how I'm gonna raise my daughter. From newborn, you know what I'm saying, to 18, they're gonna be fully enthralled in some form of the fight sciences, the fight realm of life, period. You know what I'm saying? Just purely because I didn't grow up being able to defend myself. So I'm obviously trying to give my kids the opportunity to be able to do that. And it's a serious thing, you know what I'm saying? It's a lifelong dedication. And to just start it out of nowhere and then try to succeed against legends, that's a weirdo. Whoever tries to do that in life is a weirdo. Jake Paul is a weirdo. I wish him the best of luck because I don't want him to get hurt. Tyron Woodley, obviously, we know he gonna win. Hopefully he win in spectacular fashion, because we always like to see that. But appreciate y'all for hanging around through this long conversation. It's something that's been weighing on me because it's just crazy what people do, you know what I'm saying? But don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you could get all notifications on my newest uploads and things of that nature. The Twitter and the IG going to obviously be down in the description, as well as the Facebook. I just started a new Facebook. Y'all go ahead and follow me on that too. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Ghost Boy Greenleaf checking